What is your favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur? It will be being in control of your own destiny. Let me explain. However, on reading this you will never want to work again, so you have been warned. The economic system works in a very simple way: the spread between the input and the output, gross domestic product (GDP). We will use the UK as the reference point simply because the figures are clearly defined publicly. However, all major economies are the same. Taking today as the starting point, your input is £13,000, however with the average salary of £27,600, over a 45-year working life your output is £1. 25 MN, you will spend it all. What does the input mean? That is the value the state puts on you too, so 1 to 100 spread. This is where reality starts to unfold. Who pockets the difference between the spread? The elites for themselves and politicians for their vote-building projects. So why is entrepreneurship better? Simply because you control how and when you work. Want to take a year sabbatical while planning your next business? No one to stop you unless you over-leveraged with liabilities. But what has happened is greed kicks in at the top. They want the spread to be above 1 to 100. Pure slavery is 1 to 1000, which is why automation and immigration are gaining traction at lightning speed. They increase the spread with lower input workers. The problem is once you start going over the 1 to 100 spread, you have public anarchy, which is where we are at today. You will find if you want to start a business you will be overwhelmed with red tape, meaning you cannot reduce the spread too much. It's simpler to become a worker. My view is very simple: input should match output. For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. That does not make the wealthy wealthier. Look at the richest who control the same wealth as the poorest 50% of the global population. 3. In 2014 it was 80, 2015 it was 62, and now they believe it is just 8 people. 4. The best part of being an entrepreneur is finding the locations that want your knowledge with a low spread but high quality of living. Some of the legendary fund managers have already taken flight to these locations. My belief is that if you don't agree, don't participate. It doesn't help those caught in the process, but no one can change that. It has to run its course. It is unfortunate people do not have the same information as myself, but even if they did it would not change much because the whole process is so complex. You are either in the system, worker, you are out of the system, enjoying life away from it all, or you are the system, the elites, with those still in the fringes being cajoled towards one of the 3 distinct groups. I'd say I'm more business owner than entrepreneur, but I'm sure the question still applies. My favorite part is being able to choose the type of client I want to work for. I've previously worked for several consultancies, and when I worked in different consultancies, they essentially didn't pay my or other consultants' fees, they charged my fees to the clients, so essentials the client paid my salary. Nothing wrong with that, but that meant that no matter what the project, or client, if there was a role that I could do, regardless of if I was suitable, that would be the role I got given. And because of that, it didn't matter if the client was an ass. I once worked with a client who used to walk into the office, and saying, "So who can I fire today?" Can you imagine? I'm sure you won't be surprised to learn that that project had a very high turnover, and ended up costing a ton of money, but not meeting its targets, or if you were overqualified for the role, and bored out of your mind, because there was no challenge to be had. With all the consultancies I worked for, the client was always right, even if they were wrong, and the project was a project that you would stay on till you left, or the project ended. I've also worked with clients who don't listen even when it's to their detriment. Clients who want to micromanage, clients who are aggressive, and adversarial as opposed to collaborative, which is how I like to work. Now, even though I'm sure I'll probably still get those clients, I have put in place a filter process to ensure I get more my ideal client, and also of course have the ability to say, "It's not working," and "We aren't a good fit," and let them go. That's for me is the best, working with fantastic clients. Freedom is most entrepreneurs' joy. Freedom to manage their time, freedom to meet the needs of others and in return be rewarded with funds, freedom to live one's life on personal terms, freedom to create time for family, friends, religion, etc. The challenging aspect of it all is that freedom is costly. More than 90% of businesses are commonly implied to fail due to various issues. That is an aspect of all the entrepreneurial activities. My joy is solving problems and putting smiles on the face of people. That is the favorite aspect of entrepreneurship for me, and at times it comes with reward, sometimes with appreciation. That is joy for me. At various times it has also cost philanthropist initiative, provided the grace is available to assist. The desire to be free comes with a price. It cost time, sleep, and sometimes put one on hold, the state of pressure. I never thought I would become an entrepreneur. This desire came out of nowhere. But when it appeared, it became suddenly obvious it was a necessity for me to become one. The transition was extremely smooth. I had no work experience. I was about to start an internship to complete my academic year, and I knew I would take advantage of my experience there to fill my desire. How did I know I would not like being an employee? Time is what I value the most in life. And I do not want to trade it against a salary. I prefer to be free, even if it means living in my own jail for a while. I want to build my own jail, and break free whenever I want. In the end, it all relies on me. My work ethic, my beliefs and decisions, my skills. I work a lot. I still have to work a lot so I can live off. The road is long and steady, but being an entrepreneur taught me confidence and patience. I will pursue. It all depends on my goodwill.